awakening me, a storm that set free. We are unstoppable. Together we'll never fall. Darkness surrounds, no backing down. No place to hide, just reach inside.
So easily entertained.
I'm so happy that you're finally up and around and feeling better, Klook. For a while there, all of us were afraid you'd never wake up.
I'm so sorry. I messed up the team's plans for defeating Nene.
You're kidding, right?
Huh?
We weren't strong enough to begin with. If not for you, we wouldn't even be here talking about it.
We'd be prisoners or worse. Instead, we're all on our way to wherever it is we're going again.
We're going to a place where we can find another copy of the Book of the Beginning.
And of course, it has to be a copy that contains the extra 7 pages.
We'll never find a copy like that in another wild goose chase.
Stop being negative, will ya?
I think we're almost there. Here is the Republic of Metea. It's a famous center of books and knowledge. It's known as the City of Logic.
I never even knew a place like this existed.
I can tell you all about it.
How do you know? You never know anything.
Well, Mr. Pointyhead, I know about this. The whole city is like a giant library. They have books and papers from all over the world covering every little thing you can imagine.
Most people here earn their living by buying and selling books or cataloging information.
Scholars flock to this city and spend hours debating each other.
Although it's not the original, there's a copy of the Book of the Beginning that's close to the original, and it's kept here in the National Library. It should suit our purposes.
Go ahead, libraries give me a headache.
Trust me, the syntax of the text is completely maladjusted.
Aww, this is almost worse than being stuck back at school.
It's so quiet in here, it'd be a great place to grab some sleep.
Shoo, how about we check out some wedding books?
I'm not interested.
This is the place. This way. Here we go. This is the Book of the Beginning. You remember what the original looked like back at Jabral Castle, right? The fact is, there have been many different versions published over the years. For our particular needs, I chose a version closest to the original.
If you're gonna explain something, can you please use small words?
And short sentences, too. Remember, Zola, we're not as sharp as we appear.
There are also those who are hearing this for the first time, so I'll explain from the beginning. It's got a lot of information in it, but the bottom line is, it's a book that lays out the way this world works, and in the process describes a lot of legends from the distant past.
Does it have a lot of magic spells in it?
You'd better use smaller words.
Its most famous stories are about the beginning of the world around us.
Here, Zola, let me read them something. This is a story that takes place right after the world was created. What is known is that the earth and the sea were the first things created. Next came the simple life forms. They grew more and more complicated until finally human beings appeared. Life swept through the planet. It filled the seas from the bottom of the ocean to the edge of the shore. It spread like fire across all the continents, filling them with creatures high and low. The earth shone bright, and daylight never faded. Time passed. Then one day, the humans decided they had grown tired of eternal daylight. They said, "We can't sleep in a world as dazzling as this. Can something be done to balance out the light?" The answer was yes, and so darkness was created. Shadows appeared, and people were glad, not knowing that darkness had been created in their hearts, as well as in the world around them.
Oh yeah, that's not new information. Even I've heard that story before.
Not so fast. The story isn't finished yet.
You mean it keeps going? How much more is there?
Quite a bit, actually. What you just heard is only an introduction to the material. There are many fables and local legends in this section. But the most important information is coming up. Here it is. The war between light and darkness.
I remember this. You talked before about how a war broke out between the two great powers in the world. It was the forces of light against the forces of darkness. Just when the forces of darkness were about to win the struggle, the 7 warriors of light appeared and battled their way to victory.
Those soldiers of light, I've concluded they must have been shadow wielders.
Why in the world would you think that?
The descriptions of what they accomplished in battle were so amazing, they had to be more than just normal human beings. Their powers resembled the same ones we have today.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
So even if shadow wielders have been around since the earliest days of our history, how on earth did you come to the conclusion that all of us are descendants of those warriors of light?
That's a very good question. As most of you know, Jiro and I have been on our quest for quite a while now. We looked everywhere for ancient ruins that might be linked to the 7 warriors of light.
Everywhere?
Like back home?
Yes, there in the caverns. That's why we were in your village. The legends say each warrior has his own set of ruins. The one we found gave us exactly what we were looking for. In the cavern, there was a secret room. And inside it, ancient paintings of your Shadow Shoe. It's undeniable proof. You and all the people at this table are descendants of the 7 soldiers of light.
Wait just a minute.
Shouldn't we be out looking for the 7th descendant?
We don't even know if a 7th descendant exists, and besides that, we haven't found any more ruins with clues. That last warrior could show up anywhere and we wouldn't know. We have no idea what he or she even looks like.
A 7th warrior.
Now you understand why we are the ones who must take a stand in the fight against Nene. The warriors have come back to save the world.
Our remaining forces have succeeded in crossing the borders of our allied states, Mitia and Gore. These soldiers report that the Imperial Guard Division, led by Conrad, is bringing up the rear of the retreat. They are fighting bravely and have rescued many soldiers, but the truth is they are outnumbered.
Don't give up, men! We're almost to the border! Keep moving!
Where's he now, Minister?
That is unknown, sire. We cannot afford to wait, Your Majesty. We must prepare now. We must prevent any further invasion by Nene. We should call up the reserves and deploy the...
What is that?
What is that up there?
Operational efficiency 57%. Energy charge 83%.
Fire control system clear. Releasing safety valve. Target is locked. Objective Jabral Castle.
Final report. All systems maximum power.
Ready to go, Commander.
And fire!
Everything from this point on is just speculation on our part. For any real answers, we would need to see the missing pages from the original book.
The extra 7 that were stolen.
Yes, the extra 7 pages that were added only to the back of the original book. I suspect their contents might help us maximize our shadow power. But I have no proof of that because what's written there has long been a mystery.
Who was responsible for keeping those pages hidden? Huh?
Around 700 years ago, the King of Jabral went out of his way to issue a specific law to that effect.
Mano?
The law stated, from that point on, any future viewings of the Book of the Beginning would be strictly prohibited, except to those people given permission by the king himself. In addition, the contents of the extra 7 were completely sealed, no matter who wanted to examine them.
What made the king do such a thing?
I think he was afraid. The King of Jabral at that time was an intelligent, gifted scholar. He was well-informed and promoted research in all areas, including studying the extra 7, but something happened. His research team must have made a discovery.
And you think the truth threatened the king?
It might have been something that would have upset the social order and caused an uproar. So, he probably created the law to make sure that whatever it was would be sealed away forever.
I guess it had to have been a pretty important secret if he was that worried.
What do you think is in the missing pages?
I don't know.
Maybe it was stuff they forgot to put in.
Or stuff they were afraid to put in the first time.
I'm not sure we'll ever know the real answer to that question. We don't know when those pages were written. In fact, we don't even have a clue as to who wrote them. But it's all a big mystery. We don't know who wrote the Book of the Beginning either.
It's like trying to grab hold of a wispy cloud.
Are there clues we could pick up from reading the book?
Actually, I'm not all that interested in what's in the book. It's what they left out that might help us. There was something very important about shadows that wasn't addressed at all.
What was it?
I noticed nobody wrote about sealing a shadow.
Maybe they couldn't do it.
Or maybe they just never wanted to seal their shadows.
Here, let me show you something else. Go ahead, Kluk.
After the conflict, the soldiers of light returned to their respective homes. Hey, someone cut off the sentence in the middle.
That was the very beginning of Chapter 7. This text cuts off just like the one in the original book, and then Chapter 8 begins as if this section never even existed.
You think the subject of the cutout text is about...
Exactly. It's about how to seal the power of a shadow.
So, your theory comes down to what? The original writer wasn't allowed to finish Chapter 7, so somebody else came and did it?
I don't know why the writer may have stopped, but think about this. Couldn't the information for sealing a shadow also have been used for summoning a shadow as well?
Good heavens!
From Chapter 8 on, there are no stories in this book relating to the subject of shadows at all. That means one of two things must have happened. Either all the shadow wielders disappeared, or their shadows were sealed. My guess is that they were sealed. None of you are making full use of your shadow powers. As a result, the shadows themselves are not as effective in battle as they should be. Now, in order to resolve this problem, we need to go out and recover the extra 7.
But Zola, we have no idea where those pages could possibly be.
Does that mean we should just give up? So the pages were stolen. That just means we have to get them back. First off, we need to identify exactly who stole them and where they're now being held. We'll start our investigation immediately. But as we search, we need to maintain a very low profile. Right now, the enemy thinks they've eliminated us. That's good, let's keep it that way. We don't need somebody like General Logi breathing down our necks.
So the key to everything, the entire balance of power in this world is tied up in those missing 7 pages. Without them, we'll never beat Nene, right?
Are we all in agreement then? All right, we need to find a place for us to stay. You're all free until tomorrow. Get some rest tonight. You'll need it.
Don't you want to eat, Mano?
How do you even have an appetite right now?
Mano?
We're at war, you know. And maybe you've forgotten, but our forces have been defeated by Nene. It's a disaster. With no one to stop him, he'll keep attacking other countries. And then, the world will be plunged into darkness and despair! Are you even listening to me with your mouth full of food?
Yeah, darkness and despair. The food's in my mouth, not in my ears.
Then help out!
We're doing the best we can. Is the world suddenly going to become peaceful if we stop eating?
Hey, what happened to Shu? Where's Jiro and Zola? And what about Miss Klook?
It's actually...
Oh!
Are you alright? I heard you got into another fight with Shu. Why can't the two of you bury the hatchet and work together as teammates?
He's the one who's not focused on the mission. The guy is completely undisciplined.
Come on, that's not the problem.
What else would it be?
Well, it's sort of a boy thing, really.
So where's the enemy?
Do I only get to summon you when there's an enemy?
If not, why was I summoned?
I want to talk about something, all right?
You want to talk? What do you and I have to talk about?
It's more like a question. When we're out there fighting, why are you so greedy?
What?
Why do you desire so much power? Tell me why it's never enough for you.
What makes you want to know? Tell me, are you going to make me listen to your pointless grumbling and then expect me to comfort you or something? Is this all because you lost that big fight?
No way!
I don't know why you're wasting your time being upset. In case you've forgotten, you have free will. If you don't want to fight, don't bother.
I know that. That's not the issue.
So what is the problem? Having trouble identifying the enemy? If you hesitate on the battlefield, you might as well stay home in bed.
I don't want to talk to you about fighting.
Then what's the point of my presence here?
I was kinda hoping for your opinion on something.
Look, kid, I can only be summoned up at your convenience. Therefore, my opinion shouldn't affect your decisions. It doesn't make any difference. You should think of me as a weapon, no different than a simple bow and arrow.
Listen, why can't you be a friend and help me when—
You haven't earned the privilege of calling me a friend yet. You have a lot of work to do in that area. Before we ever get close to the idea of friendship, you should think about using my power more effectively. So far, you haven't impressed me as someone I'd want to be friends with.
That's not very nice.
Oh, really? Well, I'm not a very nice creature. The truth is, I don't like anything about you, kid. Huh? Well...
What is it?
Looks like we have some visitors. Shu, you have a plan in mind or what?
Yeah, fight!
Right now, we all need to maintain a low profile. Nene thinks we've been eliminated. Let's keep it that way.
Fine, Blue Dragon! I don't like anything about you as well! And it wasn't my idea to be the one who brings forth your incredible powers! But face it, we're teammates! And I'll use any weapon I can to stop these guys from taking over the world! So whether you like me or not, we're going to fight to protect everyone! And we're going to beat Nene no matter what it takes! Are you with me on this?
Sounds to me like we have some work to do.
Right! Let's go, Blue Dragon! Blue Dragon, don't destroy the town!
Whatever you say. After all, you're the boss here.
What are you doing? I told you to maintain a low profile.
People are being hurt!
You're exposing our position.
I'm sorry! There are lives at stake! This is what it's all about! I have to fight! What good's the power if I can't use it to help people?
Huh. If you feel that strongly about it, I guess you'd better make a stand then.
Let's smash him!
All right, you guys, cover Shu. We're gonna protect this town.
In the name of justice!
Blades of Rage!
We've got him on the run. Let's finish up and get out of here.
Right!
Report from the 16th Machine Corps. The unit has been annihilated, confirming the presence of 4 Shadow Wielders.
As I thought. You were right, General Loki. These warriors are more resilient than we expected.
Excuse me, sir. Shall we make a report to Lord Nene?
Not immediately. Now that we know where they are, let's concentrate our forces and wipe them out once and for all.
Monday.
You're like a superhero.
You should join our team. He ain't right, Ben.
When's mine now?
It's an all-new Ben 10 Alien Force, part of the all-new show. Monday, 5:30 p.m. on Cartoon Network.
But you'll never find a better friend. But you'll never find a better friend.
Next time on Blue Dragon.
Are you willing to take the job looking for that woman or not?
I'll do it!
No, me!
Me too!
Back off, you guys! This is my job!
How can we pay for an informant's services?
This is the big job you have for me?
We need the money, so quit complaining and start fishing.
Fine, here you go.
As far as I know, nobody has ever returned alive from confronting a Gygerus.